Revenge. Good old revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge. It is more than normal and more than understandable when someone has betrayed you, lied to you, cheated on you, stole from you, deceived you, manipulated you, to want to seek revenge on those individuals that have hurt you. It is more than natural to want this. More often than not, when we go through the things we do with narcissistic people, it sends us into a state of uncertainty, which causes things such as anxiety and stress and a feeling of being out of control. So we're looking to regain that certainty and regain our sense of control over the situation. However, when it comes to revenge, this is often a dirty word, because revenge is usually what malicious people do, what narcissistic people do. What you tend to actually genuinely be after is that retribution, that justice, seeing justice served on those who have lied, cheated, deceived and manipulated you. The desire to seek justice often arises from that sense of uncertainty, trying to create that certainty within the situation to regain control of a situation that you were so out of control from, because you didn't even know what was happening to you. You didn't have a choice in the matter because of how manipulative and exploitative they are. Seeking that justice is trying to get your sense of power back. Now, first and foremost, it's very wise to acknowledge these feelings without judgment. It doesn't make you a malicious person. Wanting to seek revenge, wanting to see justice served does not make you a malicious person. Actively seeking revenge and hurting another person, that makes you a malicious and toxic person, which you'll often notice is what narcissistic people do just because you didn't pay them enough attention. We're human. We can all have these feelings, and they are a very natural response to the situation you've been through with a narcissist. They cause a lot of feelings such as betrayal and anger and resentment, and they leave that cynical, bitter taste in your mouth. The frustration that they cause within you often leads you to need to find a way to vent those emotions, to get those feelings out of your situation. Processing everything you've been through helps you get those feelings out of you. You have to get those feelings out in a healthy way. However, going to seek revenge on a narcissist doesn't work as well as you'd like. For one, they enjoy the attention, they enjoy playing the victim. They're usually going to set you up for the game, so they're going to play with you, and the acronym PLAY stands for provoke you. So they've already provoked that emotion within you, that anger and that frustration and that resentment and wanting revenge. They've provoked that within you with their behaviour. Then they're going to label you as bitter and jealous and crazy and obsessed. And then they're going to accuse you of the one with all the problems who just will not leave them alone after all they did to try and help you. They're then going to yield this by seemingly acting like they haven't got control over the situation. Everything's down to you. They're going to remove all forms of responsibility for their behaviour while passing all the blame over to you. So actively seeking revenge on a narcissistic person near enough always backfires on you. When it comes to seeking revenge, it is that gaining justice. And the way you get justice against a narcissistic person is by beginning to focus on you. Because the more you try to directly seek revenge against them, the more it's going to escalate the situation and the more you're going to be trapped in the cycle. Now, focusing on you, yes, that can also escalate the situation because narcissistic people will seek to keep control over you when they've lost control of you. This is when you have to stand your ground in the decision you have made, leave them to it. Gather evidence if needed. Other than that, leave them to it. Narcissistic people do tend to get bored very easily and seek supply where they're going to get the attention they believe they're entitled to. They're still going to blame you, they're still going to accuse you. However, once they've cycled around a pattern, and you'll get to learn that pattern with that particular individual, once they've cycled around it and not got the desired reaction or response they needed from you, they will often fall silent on you and leave you alone and blame you. Now, with narcissistic people, you do have to be careful because those who lack empathy aren't the kinds of people you want to mess with. So your safety is always your first priority. When it comes to that revenge, remember that narcissistic people often thrive off that attention and adoration. They're seeking that excessive attention from other people. So your first line of defense against a narcissist is to remove all your attention away from them. No longer pay them any attention. Now, narcissistic people do prefer positive attention. However, if they can't get that from you, they'll go all out to get that negative reaction from you so they can use it against you and play the victim in the situation. So cut off all attention. Go no contact. If you can't go no contact, go grey rock. Use the feelings of frustration and anger and resentment and wanting to seek justice to recognise that this is how you break free from them. It hurts them no longer gaining your attention and you can move on to a new life for you. Narcissistic people move on to new supply because they're looking for that attention and to seek revenge, to punish you for no longer serving them. They might leave you alone, but in their minds they believe they've got at you because they're with somebody new. Don't react. Leave them to it. Remember, narcissistic people are often very envious individuals, believing that everyone else is envious of them. So they believe you're envious of their new relationship. However, if you just leave them to it, don't warn the new supply won't believe you anyway because the narcissist has already lied to them. Focus on you instead. Focus on creating a new life for you. Narcissistic people are very envious of your independence, of your identity, of your creativity, of your friends, of your family. So start doing those things. Start discovering your independence again because they do make you very dependent on them. So start discovering your independence again. Start creating your identity again. Who would you like to be? What are the things that you enjoy doing? And step out of your comfort zone to build your confidence and start doing those things again. When you're trying something new, at first you're gonna suck. More than likely, unless you have a natural talent. And even when you have a natural talent, you still have to learn, you still have to develop, you still have to grow. So thrive on growth and becoming you. When it comes to narcissistic people, they go all out to get you to question and doubt yourself. So you question your worth, you lose your confidence. Start doing all those things that you really wanted to do, that they told you you were incapable of doing or weren't for you or didn't suit you or that was impossible. Start doing those things and don't stop until you've proved to yourself that you can do them, that it is possible. This is how you get revenge on narcissistic people. There's a reason they didn't want you to do these things, and it wasn't for your benefit. It was to keep you down so that they can remain feeling superior to you. So when you lose them and you can start doing all the things you wanted to do, that gives you your freedom and your self-worth and a desire to get out of bed again in the morning while actually crushing a narcissist's ego. how they react to this is totally on them. You are allowed to be independent. You're allowed to live your life. You're allowed to do the things that you enjoy doing. Their reactions, how they feel about this is on them. However, they are incredibly envious people, and when they can no longer control you, they are going to look for a way to regain control over you. When it comes to narcissistic people, they are very envious of other people's success. So use their envy as a drive, as a strong desire for your personal growth, so that you can do the things that you enjoy doing. Narcissistic people absolutely hate being ignored. They believe they're the most important person in the world. So they do not like being ignored. When they're coming and coming and coming at you, ignore it all. Channel the frustration and the resentment into doing what you enjoy, into doing some form of exercise, running it off, taking up boxing classes, taking up kickboxing, anything to get those emotions out of you in a healthy way and not directed to the narcissist who's looking for that attention. Painting, music, going for long walks, reading, starting a new career, learning something new, going back into education, whatever it is for you. Just do not give the narcissist any attention. Ignore them completely and focus on self-care and what is going to help propel you forward in your life and not keep you trapped in their life. Narcissistic people hate being ignored, and you are more than entitled to no longer give your attention to those who only gave you their attention when they wanted something from you. You are allowed to ignore those who are trying to hurt you and punish you and get that negative reaction from you. They're not entitled to your time and attention. Ignore them all. Cut all ties with them. Focus on you, your personal growth. Now, when it comes to narcissistic people, they want to be in control. And when they feel this control slipping, they might come at you. They might escalate their games. They might start accusing you of being selfish and awkward and stubborn and difficult, because to them, you are awkward, selfish, stubborn and difficult, because they can no longer get that reaction from you that they could always pull from you. They could rely on you to start having a go at them and telling them how they should treat people and how they should live life and how they shouldn't be doing those things to you. They're relying on you to give them that. So when you're no longer giving them that, they think you're being difficult and awkward. And they're going to accuse you of those things to make you feel like you're in the wrong some way. When you say no, they believe you're being difficult and awkward because they believe they're entitled to your yes. They might start trying to guilt trip you to get you to back down and conform to their demands because they're not used to you stepping away from them. They might start trying to intimidate and threaten you. Be careful, they lack empathy. However, with the majority of them, they're just looking to get you back under control. The more you ignore them, the more you focus on you, yes, they might try to sabotage you, which is why it's always best to go no contact or grey rock and do not inform them of what you are doing. Switch around your routine. So if they're trying to stalk you, they don't actually know what days you go where and do what. Switch your routine around so that they can find very little information out about you. Eventually, narcissistic people, once they've gone round the houses of their manipulation tactics, do often get bored of you and will fall silent on you. They'll still probably smear your name, they'll still blame you, they'll still accuse you of being the one that's caused all their problems. However, what you often notice with a narcissistic person is they're the very person who accused you of causing all their problems. Yet when you step away from them and start to better yourself as a person, they continue with all the very same problems that they claimed you were causing them, while you've moved away from them problems because they're no longer causing you those problems. If anyone has any hints or tips on what helped them get healthy revenge on a narcissistic person, please add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you and to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several guides, online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People and a Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you'd like to go and check them out, go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.